I'm joined with Xenon and Lemon Pepper here on the mics. How you guys doing?
Doing
Doing
good.
great.
Glad to be here, man. It's awesome.
Awesome.
Yes.
I like being in watch point, checkpoint. Excuse me,
Checkpoint.
wrong one. Excuse me. But yeah, I love being on here. It's fun.
Yeah,
So thank you
excited
for
to get
having me.
through this and get to our match tonight.
Yep. So we do have a match tonight. We'll be having Paradise Aegis versus Grav9 at about 8 p.m. I believe tonight. So about an hour and a half time. And right now we'll be recapping week 2 of Split 1 and then previewing week 3 really quick before we do our main broadcast tonight for the game. So let's go ahead and get started with our first game, which was Frost Nova versus Grav9. It was another 3-1 defeat for Frost Nova. Grav9 continuing their strong run so far in the tournament. We don't really have anything to go off of for this game, unfortunately, because the replay codes were wiped early in the week, and we were unavailable to get a review of it. But
I will say though, Grav9, I mean, they're being a newcomer, for this run of the Hyperion Cup. I mean, they're really making a strong name for themselves. They're kicking some butt right now, and they're definitely of a lot of these newcomer teams. I think they're one of the ones I'm looking out for the most. Honestly, they just very impressive so far, and definitely a team to watch. I look forward to getting to maybe cast some of their stuff in the future. That'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, they're definitely up and coming.
absolutely. We will be seeing them tonight, so we will have our first look at
Ooh.
their team.
Well, there's your hype right
Replay.
there. I mean,
So
let's, they're making a nice little run. Let's see them on the big stage, basically,
Yep.
right?
basically. So they'll be live tonight, and Frost Nova, they'll be live on Monday versus not Paradise Aegis, Danger Close, and hopefully we'll be able to get some good matches in on those. Our next match from last week was Tempest Typhoon versus Phoenix, and I have Mr. Hype Man himself from Tempest Typhoon in the booth. So,
Ooh. Well,
Lemon
they
Pepper,
say
go ahead and
if you
take
can't
away.
if you can't talk the trash, in a loss, then you don't deserve to talk it in a win. So, this was definitely a tough team. Definitely, I think, through some looks that Tempest wasn't really expecting. They came out, they had a strong showing for it. I will say I feel bad for Zai, our hit scan player, because he had a monitor that was basically still powered by steam locomotion. Basically, I mean, he was on the 60 hertz monitor. He's got a new one now. We're hoping that kind of maybe turns the tide in that department a little bit. But yeah, it was a tough match. Phoenix definitely they played to their match that they wanted to play, and they played aggressively. I mean, you look at the stats, the beast for Phoenix, with the 46% kill participation on Rialto. I mean, he was staying alive at the end of the day is what really at that role is what he was doing. CSPPP, someone I've actually played against in the past, really great off tank player. I mean, you see there on Anubis, that was a map where Phoenix really kind of separated themselves. I feel like that was a really strong showing from them. But yeah, it was just all in all a strong performance by Phoenix, and not the best day from Tempest Typhoon. A bit unfortunate, I guess you could say.
Yeah. We were in your stream for your quote unquote biased broadcasting, and you did have
Oh
a great
yes,
little Stephen A rant at the end of a.
I'm great at those, man. I really am. I love it. It's a lot of fun. And then in true Stephen A fashion, you later, like a couple days later, were like, "Hey, let's play some Halo, bro." And I just completely didn't see it.
Yeah, you
And then by the time
ghosted.
I saw it, I felt so bad that it's like I can't even respond now. Like so.
I got
It
ghosted.
was in true Stephen A fashion, indeed. Yeah. So yeah, it was pretty fitting. But yeah, I mean, it was one of those things. It was just a tough match. It was fun doing a bias cast, doing the whole like, obviously I play for Tempest. I'm not on the Hyperion channel. This isn't an official sanctioned deal. That was a lot of fun. Maybe I'll do more of that here in the future. We're on bye this week, obviously. So we're going to be taking on Frost Nova in week 4. A good time to mention Phoenix taking on Voltage this week, which we'll have more on them later, but that's going to be a good one. But yeah, I'd love to do more bias cast in the future. I might get in on that. Yeah, other players that also have some casting chops. If you're, subbed out on the bench, do that too. Throw that out there to every team. Like, I don't have a monopoly on that. So, if you're watching and you want to do that for your own team, go ham. Put the link in the chat. Let's see it. I love that stuff. So I had a lot of fun. Call it like a Pat McAfee sort of deal. But yeah, it was great. Want to do it again sometime.
Absolutely. Let's go hop on over to our next match, which was Kaiju Core Clover taking a 3-2 win over Voltage. Mr. Cool Math Games got player MVP of the match from me, because he was going ham on the Hanzo on the first map. And this was a weird series. Kaiju Core Clover, they looked dominant, and then Voltage would just clutch up for really, really long points of time on Rialto. Kaiju Core Clover, they were able to hold their defense at the end of second, and then when they go on to attack, they steamroll in first, and then they just get 2 CP'd. I don't know what happened, where basically they had like a 5-minute time bank and they couldn't push it all the way to the end. King's Row comes about, they look themselves again. Hanamura, same deal, except it's 2 CP instead of a 2 CP light scenario. And they end up with the 2-0 defeat on that. And then they come back out on Lijiang and everyone's favorite map 1 of every scrim, Lijiang Tower. They look back to themselves.
I mean, that is the biggest surprise here I'm watching too, is I'm like, Busan played first and Lijiang played last. You don't see that every day, honestly. That kind of not playing Lijiang first. That was kind of shocking to me. But yeah, you look at it and Hanamura clear kind of Voltage victory. But I mean, aside from the control maps, it looks like throughout the rest of the series it was very close. I mean, you have to we've seen Kaiju Clover. We know what they're capable of, their strengths. So I mean, looking at Voltage's performance here, it definitely, I think it might not be a victory on paper, but a Pyrrhic victory almost, if you will, being able to hold their own against Clover there.
The players on Voltage that I thought that should get a shout out are like Suckit on main tank, Brady on flex support. They were just holding it down and clutching out insane moments on the Rhine and Zen respectively for Voltage on Rialto. Their first point capture was basically like Brady just hard carrying. Suckit hit some crazy shatters and got some crazy value with the rework that they did with the shatter and the extra damage that it does. So they're building a pretty strong foundation over there in the Voltage camp. And it'll be exciting to see what they do this weekend, or I guess on Monday, because they play the Graveyard Shift at 10 p.m. on Monday versus Phoenix. And Kaiju Core Clover, they'll be in action again on Sunday at 8 p.m. versus Frost Surge. And before we get to our match of the week, we do have a hype video, so stick around and we'll throw it.
Boy.
No, it isn't. We can see Locknack try to set up for a position here. Okay, gets hacked up. That's okay. We get to see the sound barriers online as well. Now Ricey goes with another EMP. Another 6 Dennis. Hero uses the Death Blossom to counter it out. And right now, Paradise have nothing, as that's going to be an easy first round to win for Frost. Put the point around, but be careful. Locknack does have this barrage online. They still remaining onto the point here, but they could flip this one around. Locknack just continuing. Invest barrage. He's going to get taken out of the air. Now going in for the flank. Throws in the stun grenade. Finds 2 people, giving Paradise a little bit of a chance. Purple is kept alive artificially by that immortality field. In the back line, going for the slam. Looking for a little bit of a target here, but Scaros Bob is just coming up absolutely massive. Get this robot butler a little bit of a raise. It's just like that. Frost Surge. They clap back and Paradise in the air. That's good cover. Right now. Oh, okay. Well, Brick Wall wins that one out. That was Wrecking Ball flying behind the rest of the team here. Ooh. And taking it up. What just happened there? Brick Wall. He needs to stop somebody. But just the supports before now. Having his little sound barrier. Uh-oh. Monkey's whacking people around. Lockjack gets caught up in the self-destruct. Hidden just going to get absolutely bunched underneath that attack. And now, just look at this. Frost Surge. They're going to win this one out here, Spooky. Okay, Cabinos are falling down as well. This might work out for them. Winter says no. Pops out purple. Nautilin using the
That's enormous.
Finds 2. And just like that, it's all falling apart.
Against it, people aren't ready for the rockets all the time. And all of a sudden, Paradise Aegis, they get another tick!
They've already gotten away with one take. Finally, Frosters are able to make their way onto point, but this is going to be the team fight. Win this one out. Still, the Salt's still coming online right now. As Nodland actually went for a little bit of a dip. That could have been a very critical mistake here. The Wrecking Ball does finally fall down here. The longer this fight burns out, yeah, just like that. That's going to be Frost Surge winning out this series 3-2 against Paradise Aegis.
Here we go. That was our hype video for our match of the week. Paradise Aegis falling 2-3 versus Frost Surge, the map 5 champions, I guess. Back-to-back.
Absolutely.
To map 5.
I mean, yeah, that's stats don't lie. Like I was saying in there, stats don't lie, and that's 2 back-to-back map 5s. I mean, this is a team that handles the pressure. They go the distance. They've got the stamina.
Absolutely.
100%, but that's not to say that Paradise Aegis played at all badly. I mean, you see the performances that people like Brickwall are able to put up with just an insane amount of skill on Paradise Aegis. This is more of a unlucky GG go next kind of moment than a them getting hard stomped for 30 minutes and moving on.
Absolutely. Like the first 2 maps, they were neck and neck with Frost Surge. Outside of Sanctuary, Paradise was kind of in it. Havana, same story. Blizzard World, they clutch it out with some crazy performances on the back of Locknack, on the Pharah, on the Hanzo. He was basically hard carrying them back into the series, and they just kind of ran out of steam on Nepal. So, you know, maybe Nepal is not one of their strongest maps, but they are a strong team. They did have a coaching change or 2, and they added a couple new players that we'll be able to see tonight. Neo and Spooky come back into the Paradise Aegis roster, so it'll be interesting to see if they play a role tonight. If not, that'll be something for the future. But
Yeah, I thought it was interesting to mention too that like you were kind of alluding to with these new players coming in for Aegis. You know, these are 2 teams where, you know, there's a lot of familiar faces on here from last season in the Hyperion Cup, but these are 2 very different rosters in a lot of aspects. So it's been very interesting to see how these new dynamics have came in, incorporated themselves, and how they're you know, ultimately adding, you know, benefits for their team. And it'll be, you know, further to that tonight as Aegis takes on Grav9. You know, we'll get to see more of those new iterations of players and keep seeing that sort of honing and refinement. So that's really cool to see.
absolutely.
Yeah. And along those lines, I have no clue what Rook is feeding the players of Frost Surge, but it seems
Right?
like just whatever, like the longer a match goes, the better they get. It's kind of nuts.
The mental fortitude there is definitely, I mean, you have to put a lot of that on coaching, I think, because I mean, to be able to maintain that and then to be able to continue, you know, the way they did through series, the way they've bounced back, they've reverse swept, I think last week was reverse sweep,
yep.
if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I mean, you know, the mental toughness that they have there in that regard, I mean, that makes them a tough team to play, no matter when you're playing them, whether it be playoffs, regular season. I mean, that's a tough team to play regardless.
Yep. This was a great series to watch. It's on YouTube if anyone wants to go back and watch the VODs of it. It's on our YouTube channel, as well as the other stream games that we're able to produce across the main channel, Alpha and Bravo. They're all end up on YouTube. So hopefully in the coming weeks, more games will be over there. But Frost Surge, they'll be taking on Kaiju Clover this weekend on Sunday. Paradise Aegis plays Grav9 at 8 p.m. EST tonight. And what did these games do to our standings? Well, Danger Close, they're still at the top. They had a bye week, so, you know, tough opponent. Maybe they took a nap. I don't know. But they'll be back at it on Monday. Grav9 moves up into second. Frost Surge still climbing the table as they're in third. Middle of the pack is all over the place with Paradise Aegis, Phoenix, Tempest, Typhoon, and Kaiju Clover all at 1 point, tied up at 1-1. And then at the bottom, we have a tie on map diff between Frost Nova and Voltage.
Yeah, it's going to be, I think, really interesting to see how this bottom half of the table turns out, because Voltage and Frost Nova, neither are a weak team. Both of them have the ability, especially Voltage show against Clover. They absolutely have the ability to come back from this. It's only split one, and the postseason could look completely different.
Yeah, absolutely. We're taking the top 8 teams into playoffs, and the top 4 are automatically placed, and they will be choosing their quarterfinals opponents. So, trying to battle for that top 4 spot going into split 2 and beyond is crucial for all the teams here in the middle of the pack, and those, fighting to stay in it, because we only have one team that's going home after split 2. But for this week's matchups, we do have Voltage, like we did say, taking on Phoenix. That'll be at 10 p.m. EST on Monday. Frost Nova versus Danger Close at 8 p.m. EST on Monday. Paradise Aegis versus Grav9 in about an hour. And Frost Surge versus Kaiju Core Clover at 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. It'll be interesting to see if Kaiju Core Clover and Frost Surge do go to another map 5.
I'm predicting it. I think that's a solid prediction. Solid prediction there.
Their script now at this point. They just only go to map 5. All
right, time to rewrite some scripts, y'all. New script time. Call the writers. Call them up.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll have some other great games. We'll be able to take our first looks at Danger Close, Frost Nova, Grav9, and maybe if we're lucky, Phoenix and Voltage, if I can get some casters to do the graveyard shift after the first match. So hopefully we'll be in for a treat this week in regards to games before we go into our bye week. So
yeah, I think all of these have the potential to be 3-2s. With the exception of, Danger Close is looking really strong right now. I will say that. Frost Nova's had a bit of a rough start. That one, maybe not so much, but all the other three, these could all be solid 3-2s either way. I could see them going any direction, to be honest with you.
Absolutely.
This is a good week to not be playing, basically, is what I'm saying. I'm just sitting over here. This is the bye week. I'm like, these are some good games. I can just watch some good Overwatch this weekend, I think.
Get your popcorn ready.
That's right. I'm sure I'm going to get in on the casting booth on at least one of these, though, so that'll be cool. That's going to be fun. All these will be good ones, I think. You can't go wrong this week as far as casters are concerned. So any casters out there trying to cast, get on these matches. It's a good week.
Absolutely. And that will be it for us here on the Hyperion Cup Checkpoint. I've been Oakley, joined today in the booth with Xenon and Lemon Pepper, and we'll catch you back here in about an hour for Paradise Aegis versus Grav9. See you soon.